In this video, I'm going to show you how to design a tag or label in our new 2.7 version of the do-it-yourself software. So the first thing you need to do is come to the right-hand side of the screen and select a layout. Now we've got a range of new layouts here for all the new stocks we've created for you, and we've also got the old layouts here that you're familiar with and used to using. So if you're using stock you've already got, select from the old layouts. If you're using our new stock, of course, select from the new layout. And it will be clear which stock you're using because, of course, the product code and name will be on the stock you've purchased. So I'm going to start with an example, and I'm going to pick this one here, which is, of course, our largest hang tag. So this would be the equivalent to your hang tag 4-up. And let's put some stuff on it. So the first thing you've got is a heading. So you can click that. There's your heading. Drag it out as it says edit text. So you can go down to where it says text under layout and change it to heading, for example. You can go to the position and you can change which way it's going round. If you, for example, wanted the heading, I don't know, to run down the side of the tag. This is a hang tag, so maybe you're doing a fancy design and you want the title of the plant variety you're using here. And also you've got color, where you could set a foreground or background color, an outline of the element color, an outline of the text color, or a text shadow color. I always go in here in case you don't want an outline to check everything's set to 0. Also on your positioning tab will be the name of the element if you wanted to name it heading, for example, but the text you wanted to have plant name, for example. You can control your different sizes of your fonts down here, though you don't need to in the heading. It auto adjusts to fit. Whereas if we go to the next element, let's put that there nice next to our heading, and we might have some details here. Make sure you go right to the edges. Same thing, we might change the text to this is a description of my plant. And as you can see, that won't auto adjust because it's not the heading. So we can come in here and make it whatever size we want, and it will of course adjust to fit the space. Now that's probably a bit large, but it depends whether you've got a short or a long description, because of course you can go all the way down as well if you need to have a really small description, like as low as size 8, for example, to fit all the details in. You've got usual bold, italics, etc. here, so you can use any of these for styling. And once again, you can change the positioning, but you probably don't want to do that in this context. Here is the measurements for those of you who like to change the size or want to change the horizontal or vertical measurements. And of course, you can switch from the front to the back of the layout. You can do it this way, or you can control it here, picking which element goes to the front or the back. Now we've got our heading, we've got our description, we can do a picture next. So let's grab a picture box, stick it here, for example. We might want to put a picture here on our tag, and you'll see we got a new one. We've still got the same position, we've still got the same color. This time we have got a margin, so always check that. So if you don't want a margin, when you go up or down, it moves by 5. So if you don't want a margin at all, just hit 0 and enter, because that gets rid of the line around the edge of your image. Go to picture, and of course select a picture. Now you can go to your pictures where you keep it. In my case, I'm going to go to where I store pictures. So here's a folder I use. I store the TyTags logo in there. So as you can see, I can click that, but I also have some sample pictures in there. Let's double click it. It's fitting the space. Now you'll see when I click it, because this was in front, this moved. That can happen. That's okay. You can put it back. You can go, look, see how they're overlapping? I don't like that. You always drag from this side, so you can move it over a little more and drag that and position it there, which you need to do when you have an image, because you can see that's placed the image exactly, but that logo looks a little bit out of proportion. So come down here, move your logo around, get it looking how it should be in dimensions and where you want it. And remember, this wouldn't necessarily be a logo for you, could be a picture of your plant. Whatever it is for you, get it in position. You don't want your plants out of proportion or looking distorted. The next element we have is a barcode. So you might want to scan something, have a scannable device. So once again, adjust the barcode just like you did your image. And you've got the same controls. You can do the position on the barcode, you can do the color on the barcode, you can do the text on the barcode, and most importantly, you can do the barcode on the barcode. So pick the relevant barcode, whatever type you're using. For now, I'm going to stick with the code 128. But don't forget to go into your text and change your text, because of course that just says edit text. So if your barcode number, for example, was, I don't know, just picking a random number, you could have something like that. If your barcode number you wanted spaces, and I've just used an example of 10 digits because I've just picked a random phone number, you could of course put there, space it out how you want it to be. So if you were using a code that meant something for you for whatever reason, you can space it out to look however you want the information to look, but the barcode will of course still be the correct scannable barcode. Next element you have is a rectangle. Now, I don't personally use this a lot, but you may want to have a colored rectangle somewhere for a reason. For example, you might want to put it behind the barcode or in front of this demonstration. So pick the color of your rectangle. And this is where this other tool comes helpful. You can set it to the back. Now, you will see when you do this that there is of course a background color on your barcode. This isn't always removable because of course you want the barcode to be scannable and have that. So you can look at your color. Your background is set to off, so it's not there. So in this case, I might adjust the size of my barcode so it looks neater. So I can adjust the size of the box around it. And our last element is an oval or circle. That works exactly the same except for it's a circle. So once again, you can put it wherever you want. You can do whatever you want with it. Maybe we're going to have it up here because we're going to reduce the size of this element here because we're going to put the price in it. So once again, set your color. That's the outline color. So if we're going to have an outline in this case, we might be outlining it in red, and we might want to make it a bit bigger so it's easier to be seen, or even a whole mill. We might have the fill color to a nice light yellow. And then on top of that, now I can move my box if I want, or I can actually have more than one of the same element. I'm going to grab another text box, going to put it there, and I'm going to go to the text and change it to the price. For example, $9.97. Now I can manually make this grow here, or of course I could choose to have a second heading so it automatically fills the space. When you're done, the last thing you need to do is of course go File menu and Save Design, because you don't want to lose what you've done. Pick the location you want to save it in. So it defaults to My Designs, so that's a pretty good spot for it. We've created that folder for you, and it's in your Documents folder, your My Documents area on your computer. So instead of called this Unnamed, I'm going to call this Hang Tag Front Design. Now, I don't need to create another one called Back. I can go and do the back in the same design, but I'm just saving it as this so I know what it is, and I hit save, and that's there for me to come back to at any time. Now what you can actually do is you can select an element and you can hit copy. So say you wanted similar things on the back, I don't know, you wanted a double-sided hang tag so it didn't matter which way people read it. Instead of going to the back and starting again, you can always come down here and click paste. Or alternatively, go up here and select all the elements again and make the back look however you want. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you've learned a lot. Stay tuned for future videos where I can show you how to do the next steps.